Hi, it's James and Rhonda, and we're here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Opportunity to spend an evening watching the power of upper cervical with two of our favorite doctors, Dr. Michael and Opal Garman. How are you?
We're great. Thanks.
Well, great. Listen, we got an opportunity. We know you've got this big celebration going on tonight, but why don't you kind of bring us up to date and tell your listeners just exactly what's going on, what's happening. How did you get into this? Anything that comes to your mind, we'd just like to hear from the Garments. Please.
I'll go ahead and start. How we got into upper cervical is a really good story because some of our patients ask us how we got into upper cervical, and it started when we were in St. Louis at the time, and I had severe menstrual problems to the point that I had been to my primary care physician, and I was given prescription pain medication and was not getting any better. I had gotten to the point where I would have to go to the emergency room when I had a menstrual cycle because I would throw up, I would dehydrate myself, I couldn't get rid of the pain, and we were having some severe problems as a result of that. So we were in St. Louis. We just moved to St. Louis. We were young college students, and I had the worst episode that I've ever had since I was 18, because it started when I was 18 years old. And I was laying on the floor in the apartment that we were at, and I called Michael into the room, and I told him that I felt like I couldn't make it anymore. That this was it, and I felt like I was dying. That was a very emotional time for us because I just felt like I couldn't live with the pain anymore. So we called the only person that we knew in town at the time, and she suggested we wanted to find the best hospital to go to because I thought that was, I was really at the end of my rope. Instead of taking us to the hospital, she took me to a upper cervical doctor's office. I got my first correction, and I had 15 minutes break in the pain that I had been experiencing. When I was lying there and I had that break in pain, I knew that nothing had touched my pain since I was 18. I had got to the point that I was taking all over-counter medications. Nothing was working. The prescription pain medication wasn't working anymore. And I knew that if this could make a change, even though it was short-lived, that I had found an answer that was bigger than myself, and that I had found an answer for myself and maybe for some other people out there. So this is how we found upper cervical, because we were students, and I was a student in chiropractic college and was getting adjusted lots of different ways by different clinicians and different practitioners, and nothing had ever affected my health until I had my first upper cervical correction. Upper cervical changed my life. It gave me my health back, and I went on a journey through upper cervical, and it took me a period of time, but I have no menstrual problems now to this day. I have 2 young children. I did not have to have a hysterectomy. My mother and sister both had hysterectomies at young ages. It changed the course of where I was going. It changed my health. It gave me my family back, my life back. So we owe everything to upper cervical. It's why we are here, and it's why we have such passion for what we do. And then along that journey, Michael...
Do you want me to talk?
Yeah, you can talk.
Okay. I got undercare basically just to support her in the beginning, but and I thought I was healthy at 23, but I really wasn't. Couldn't eat a lot of foods. I was avoiding a lot of foods because of allergies. I would go into anaphylactic shock. I couldn't eat shrimp. My eyes would swell. I couldn't hardly breathe. And my lungs, I would literally, for a second or so, could not move because I couldn't breathe. And that had been going on since I was very little. And nothing, it was just the point where they tell you, you'll outgrow it eventually.